When an avoidant forms a bond with someone, it is not an ordinary connection, it isn't a fleeting attraction or a replaceable relationship. It is the kind of bond that becomes etched into their being for life. Most people move on and change relationships over time, but avoidants rarely let anyone in, and when they do allow someone inside, that person becomes irreplaceable. On the surface, they may seem calm, independent and in control, as if they don't need anyone at all. But psychology tells us the truth is the opposite. Avoidants are actually very sensitive. They feel deeply, but their nervous system reads closeness as danger. It's not that they are running from love, they are running from the pain that has come disguised as love time and time again. That is why they build their walls high and lock their hearts tight. But every once in a while, a rare partner comes along who changes everything. Someone who doesn't chase them, who interprets their silence as space rather than rejection, and who stays present with consistency. It is in this steadiness that the avoidant feels safe for the very first time. Psychologists call this an emotional imprint, an experience that becomes permanently engraved on the nervous system. Once they realize that closeness is not a prison but a form of freedom, this belief never goes away. It is often seen that even years later, avoidants carry in their hearts the memory of that one person who gave them this sense of safety. Other people may be attractive, new relationships may seem exciting, but that feeling can never be recreated. As John Bowlby, the founder of attachment theory, said, once a bond is formed, it becomes the central point of our emotional world. For avoidants, this is even more true, because they form such bonds so rarely. This is why no one else can replace their life bond partner. It is not a matter of preference or habit, it is a once-in-a-lifetime transformation. When they lower their walls, when they give their trust, when they choose love, that choice is locked forever. So the question is, who is that rare person? What qualities make them so special and irreplaceable? The irreplaceable partner for an avoidant personality. Now let us see who that person really is, the one who becomes so important to an avoidant that they are considered irreplaceable for life, someone no one else can replace. Most people come with demands: be closer, open up more, trust quickly, but this partner asks for nothing. They do not try to change, nor to control. They simply prove, through their presence, that love does not mean captivity, it means freedom. And this realization changes everything inside the avoidant. This is why the bond becomes so powerful. For the first time, the avoidant feels safety not in distance but in connection. The nervous system, which always contracted in fear of rejection, finally exhales in peace. The heart, which always hid behind walls, for the first time feels at home. And once home is found, no one else can replace it. This irreplaceable partner is not the most noticeable in the world. They are not the loudest nor the most dramatic. Instead, they are the one who quietly, consistently never breaks the delicate thread of trust. Their gestures are not grand, but they are profound. Sometimes they adjust their time, sometimes they sit in silence, sometimes they solve a difficulty without announcing it. And for the avoidant, these small gestures feel like earthquakes. This partner gives the avoidant a new definition, that love is not pressure or control, but a safe refuge. When the avoidant sees that this person does not judge, does not try to control, but simply accepts them as they are, they put their walls down for the very first time. And this decision is not an ordinary one. It is a soul-level imprint. That is why this partner is irreplaceable. Others may come, show love, even be more expressive. But the avoidant's heart never gives them the same place. Because once someone unlocks their trust, the effect is not just a memory, it becomes part of their very existence. This is the truth that makes the avoidance bond a lifelong bond. It is not a fleeting attraction or ordinary love, but a sacred connection, one that once created can never be recreated with anyone else. How this bonding shows up when an avoidant forms that deep and irreplaceable bond with someone, it doesn't just stay in words, it begins to show up in their behavior. To outsiders, nothing may look extraordinary, but to the person they've let into their heart, the change feels monumental. The first glimpse comes through small gestures. Avoidants usually keep their world separate, but once they truly bond with someone, they start to open the doors of their world bit by bit. They adjust their routines just to spend time with you. Sometimes they quietly fix something for your comfort. Sometimes they take a burden off your shoulders, all without making it a display. Their care is always subtle, but on the inside it feels as powerful as an earthquake. The second sign is that their silence begins to change meaning. Before, their distance felt like rejection, but now when they retreat, they always return, every time. Their silence is no longer against you, it becomes a pause, a breathing space, and most importantly, they know you will not chase them or punish them for it. That trust changes everything for them. The third glimpse appears when their guard softens. The person who always hid behind emotional walls now, at times, begins to share their wounds, fears, or vulnerabilities. It's their way of saying, "You are not just a partner to me, you are my safe place." And the deepest sign is that you begin to feel chosen, not through grand declarations or loud gestures, but in a steady, unshakable way, a quiet certainty that no matter how much the world changes, this bond will remain in its place. This is the true picture of avoidant bonding. It is not loud or flashy, but for that one person, it becomes the strongest and most loyal relationship of all, a connection defined less by words and more by presence. How you can become this person becoming the irreplaceable partner is neither a game nor a miracle. It's not just about loving, it's about the energy and presence that transform the fears an avoidant has carried in their heart and mind for years. Most people misunderstand avoidance, labeling them as cold or distant, and then their strategy becomes to chase harder, demand more, or try to change them. But doing this only makes the avoidant retreat further. In contrast, the person who truly becomes irreplaceable to them takes a completely different approach. The first step is steadiness. Avoidants often retreat because their nervous system interprets closeness as danger. Most people panic at this point, they call repeatedly, send messages, or turn passive-aggressive. But the irreplaceable partner does not take this retreat personally. They remain calm, and this calmness feels like healing for the avoidant. As if they are saying, whether you step back or come closer, my response is the same, you are safe. This steadiness awakens the very trust the avoidant has been searching for their whole life. The second step is acceptance. Avoidants always hide their vulnerability because in childhood or in past experiences, they learned that showing weakness would lead to rejection or punishment. But when they see that you accept their flaws, fears, and scars, without judgment and without trying to change them, this acceptance breaks down the biggest wall around their heart. For the first time they think, maybe I am enough just the way I am. The third step is consistency. Avoidants often carry a history of broken promises and unpredictable behavior, which is why they constantly test, will this person be the same tomorrow as they are today? Most people are warm in the beginning, but soon change. The irreplaceable partner is the one who remains the same again and again, warm, steady, reliable. This repetition slowly rewires the avoidant's nervous system, and their trust becomes so deep that they never take it back. The fourth and most important quality is freedom within love. For an avoidant, the greatest fear is that love will become a cage. The irreplaceable partner never tries to own or possess them. Instead, they balance closeness with freedom. This paradoxical combination astonishes the avoidant. Love isn't imprisoning me, it's setting me free. And this discovery is what leads them into a lifetime bond. Finally, it's important to remember that this is not a technique or a trick. It's a way of life. The irreplaceable partner is someone who makes calmness, patience, and authenticity part of their very identity. When an avoidant experiences these qualities consistently, for the first time they feel that they have a true home. And once an avoidant finds this home, no one else in the world can take its place. That is why an avoidant forms a true bond with only one person, and that bond becomes forever sacred and irreplaceable. Why this bond holds so much importance for an avoidant? Love has always been a paradox. They long for closeness, yet they also fear it. From childhood, their nervous system has been trained to see intimacy as danger and distance as safety. That's why they spend most of their lives hidden behind protective walls. But when they meet someone who offers them both freedom and safety at the same time, it's no longer just a relationship, it becomes a revolution. This bond is important because it fulfills the avoidant's deepest need, safe closeness. All other relationships either overwhelm them or leave them feeling even more isolated. But the irreplaceable partner gives them the experience of balancing distance and intimacy together, without fear. That balance feels like healing. Moreover, this bond creates a new identity within them. When the avoidant sees that despite their flaws and vulnerabilities, they are still accepted, it rekindles their sense of self-worth. They don't just love, for the first time, they also feel worthy of love. That's why this connection cannot be replaced. It's not just companionship, it's a combination of survival and healing. It creates the home in an avoidance life that they can find nowhere else, and this is why, once they form this bond, no one else can ever take its place. The power of an irreplaceable bond. In the end, winning the heart of an avoidant is not an ordinary achievement, it is a rare gift, because they do not trust easily, nor do they let anyone in without struggle. But once they tear down their walls and allow someone into their inner world, it ceases to be just love, it becomes a lifelong vow. This bond matters because it doesn't only provide emotional comfort, it touches the very depths of existence. For an avoidant, this partner is the one person who dissolves their fears and shows them that closeness does not mean harm, but healing, and once they experience this truth, they never replace that bond. Afterward, every other connection feels weaker, more temporary. If an avoidant has ever given you a place in their heart, understand that you are the home they have been searching for all their life. It is a place no one else can replicate, no matter how hard they try. Thus this bond teaches us another lesson, that real love is not built on noise or grand promises, but on consistency, patience and acceptance. These are the very qualities that turn an ordinary relationship into something sacred and irreplaceable. And perhaps this is the greatest message of all. For an avoidant, a true bond is formed only once, and once it is formed, it lasts forever.